Welcome to Wout of the World, and we're still on a big world trip. The last time you saw me in Asia, in Oman, but now we moved on to Africa. This is Cape Verde. And this is how we came to Africa, all the way from Oman. During our trip on Cape Verde, we'll be staying on 2 islands. The first one will be Sal, and then we'll head on to Boa Vista. We found a nice little Dutch company that rents some apartments over here, and we'll be staying with them for the coming 3 weeks. They're called Bobby Was Here. And the first one is inside Porto Antigo, which looks like a cozy little village. So I'm gonna show you the apartment, which is actually more like a whole house, because this is the balcony with a fantastic view over the sea, and inside we have 2 living rooms and 3 bedrooms. As you can see, we're on the perfect location next to the bluest bay in Sal. The town is called Santa Maria. It's the perfect place for a holiday, but you can also see that it's really Africa. We're enjoying the beach in Santa Maria, but of course there's more to explore on the island of Sal. It's only 30 kilometers long, so you can see it in a few days. We rented this 4-wheel drive to see the entire island, because there's only one main road and the rest is all dirt roads. Let's go! The first site we're gonna check out is at Buracona, in the northwest part of Sal, and it's called Olho Azul, which means the blue eye. It's basically just a hole in the lava rocks, but with the seawater flowing inside, it looks like a beautiful underground pool. And at noon, which is exactly now, the light shines in and creates this beautiful blue glow. To see the blue light inside the eye, make sure you're here between 11 and 1. It's a beautiful new day in Sal, and we drive towards the middle of the island for the capital, Espargos. We're standing on a big hill inside the city to have the most amazing view on Sal and the colored houses of the capital.
And now it's time for one of the biggest attractions of Sal.
Sal literally means salt in Portuguese and is named after the two big salt lakes that can be found on the island. Today we drive over to the northeast part to find Salina Pedra de Lume, which means salt lake of the Firestone. And just like the Dead Sea, you can float around here on the salt. So let's take a swim. It's one of the big advantages here on the island. I got an egg here. You don't need any salt. Oh, salty. It's the end of the day and we drive over to Shark Bay. And the name says it all. Over on the east side of the island of Sal, you can watch sharks. And not just from a distance, they literally swim between your legs. Let's see.
How bizarre is this? I can even feel the sharks touching my legs. It's for the daredevils. The next couple of days we stay at another apartment of Bobby Was Here in Moradias. These blocks are named after their colors, and this one is named Verde, green.
We have really come to love the island of Sal. The last 1.5 weeks positively surprised us. And before we move on to the next island of Boa Vista, there's one more thing we'd like to do here. Something that's part of the culture on Sal, and that's kite surfing. This island has even had some world champions, and today we're gonna have a little kite lesson at Kite Beach.
And we do this at the kite school of world champion Mitu Monteiro, a Cape Verdean legend. What an experience to have as a bonus! We drink an ice-cold caipirinha to celebrate and say goodbye to the island of Sal. This ferry takes about 3 hours and only costs about 15 bucks.
On the island of Sal, we already met the Dutch little company called Bobby Was Here. They had some nice apartments and invited us to stay. And here on Boa Vista, we do the same with them because we are staying in an apartment with a beautiful view over the ocean of Sal Rai. let me show you this apartment and the amazing view that we got. Boa Vista means beautiful view, and it mainly refers to the beautiful views you have on the ocean here. White powdery sand and blue bays, a lot of them. And one of them is called Praia Estoril, and it's right in front of our apartment in Sal.
Right in front of our apartment we look out over the uninhabited island of Sal. And in terms of beaches, this is paradise. Not in the last place for surfers.
The island of Boa Vista is just a little bit bigger than the previous island that we were on in Cape Verde, and that was Sal. It's entirely made of sand and dunes, so I'd recommend you rent a car, and if you do, take the 4x4.
We drive along Praia de Chaves to the old capital Rabil, a sleepy town where time has stood still.
We spent the rest of the day here at the most relaxing hangout on the beach. This is Praia Carlota, where there's kind of like a little hippie village surfing spot going on the beach.
This bar is called Morabeza, and that is the term for the openness and friendliness of the Cape Verdeans. A wonderful life motto. Another day in paradise, and we're going out with no-buy tours.
We visit Praia Atalanta on the north side of Boa Vista, which became an icon in 1968 because on this beach a boat stranded coming from Spain, and it was sent by the dictator Franco himself during the Spanish crisis. And it's been here for 50 years.
Our friendly driver Eddie knows the roads best and takes us through the desert. Isn't this amazing? It's just like the Sahara.
Now we drove to the southernmost point of Boa Vista, where you can find the most beautiful beach called Praia Santa Monica. Actually, earlier this year it was chosen by Travel Leisure in a selection of the 10 most beautiful beaches in the world. That's something.
The view from above shows the most beautiful side of Boa Vista, mainly undeveloped and untouched.
For our second week on Boa Vista, we moved to a new apartment along the west coast at Praia Cabral. It has a super view and a super pool.
The capital, Sal literally means Salt King, named so by the Portuguese because of the gigantic salt lake. Let's have a look from above. Despite the tourism in Sal, the majority of the population lives in the slums. A walk through these slums is harmless and worth your while. The people are hospitable, open and friendly.
Right across from our new residence is one of the most beautiful buildings you can find in Boa Vista. It's a small church called Nossa Senhora de Fátima. We can walk towards it from here, and it used to be a ruins, but now they renovated it in 2015. It's quite beautiful actually.
Look, this is a way to spend your Sunday. What a fantastic location. Off to our favorite place, Café Criolla. Beer for $1.
Our trip in Boa Vista and on Cape Verde has almost come to an end, but we spent the last days here literally on a highlight of the island. We're on the rooftop of Hotel Uril. Check it out!
With a jacuzzi on the rooftop, the picture is complete. Relax.
Tonight it's time to go back to my favorite beach club, Morabeza on Carlota Beach. They have a big bonfire and live music every Monday because it's reggae night.
After the spectacular fire show on the beach, we have our last breakfast on Boa Vista and fly to the City of Love. Because through Paris we continue our adventure to the French Antilles. Keep following us on our world trip and I'll see you soon.